Hey everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Scoop News, and I see my dog Dino is hanging out during this production. Talking a little bit about Facebook. As you may or may not know, I believe I shared some of the stuff. I think today was about them scanning all of our Facebook Messenger messages, pictures and photos, and even when you delete them, they're still storing them in their servers, clouds, whatever you want to call it, and it's never really going away. And this all came out yesterday because Zuckerberg had a conference where he basically came out and said, look, there's about 2 billion users out there that had their data essentially improperly mined or misused. They're acting like we dropped the ball, we didn't mean to, when all along they meant to. They have been doing it. It's part of their revenue plan, their revenue growth plan. And it wasn't just Cambridge. There were others out there, and it's not just Facebook. It's the Twitters out there, and I believe there's going to be some news later this week on Twitter, but also Google, which I'm going to cover in a second. And they're keeping all this information. Even when you delete it, they're keeping it. Basically, they said that their search engine allowed users to come in whenever they did a search on certain criteria, like phones and that, and they could pull your information. And when I say phones, I mean phone numbers. And basically, it was all in a goal to make it more efficient, more convenient for the users, and it opened the door for these malicious actors to come in, gain access to data, like I said, to over 2 billion users. Basically, what you have to do is you have to go in there and change your settings and on some of these functions. Now, right now, it's been disabled, so there's not a real issue with it. Facebook's going to come out and offer another solution on it, but right now they just took it away. But you got to watch these third parties. They easily gain access to all this information. They go out there, they're mining for this raw user data, this raw stuff out there that they can they can even find. They can get on the dark web out there, random phone numbers, emails, things they can use to go into Facebooks of the world and do a recovery type function, gain access to your Facebook, gain access to any legitimate data that you may have on there. And it's a loophole, like I said, that they said they've shut down, and they're looking for another option to make it a little bit better. What's so annoying about it, though, is how they're acting like they're completely surprised by this when it's been pretty much common knowledge. And there's even interviews out there that some of the radio shows have been playing today where Zuckerberg talks about the fact that, yeah, your data's out there. Yeah, it might have been scrapped by these third parties. But they've basically, Facebook, the Googles, the Twitters, they're failing to shield the users from all these trolls out there, these third parties, and hence now why you got to delete Facebook. But the funny thing is you see this huge push against Facebook, and you don't see it against Twitter or Google, who are just as bad, if not even worse. If you go to Google, and there's some links that I'm going to associate with this that I'll put on my website. So if you're watching via YouTube or via Facebook, go to my website, and I'm going to put a link for each of these so you can find out. And this is, I mean, if you think Facebook is bad at grabbing your data, wait until you see how much data Google grabs from you. All right? It'll be mind-blowing. And, like Facebook, they basically, what Google's doing is everything from your text messages to your likes, social media, everything that's out there is being collected and it's being stored. And even when you think you're deleting the data, like Facebook with that messenger this morning, it's being saved out there on their servers, on the cloud, wherever they're putting this data. And you got to be careful too. So many times you say, oh, it'll be safe out there. How many times have you heard, oh, your data will be safe, and then you hear about hacks? Constantly. Folks, your data is not safe out there. Trust me. You can just about hack into anything out there. I mean, if people can hack into our military system and some of these most secure servers out there, trust me, Facebook's not secure. So back to Google. And these are different things. And this was an interesting read. Basically, they know every place you've been, every place you've gone. And there's a link you can go to that checks your timeline, where you've been from the first day you started using Google on your phone until the last day. It tracks it all. and I'll give you a page. You can just go there and see, and it will tell you where you've been, how long you've been there, and tracking you, even if you're turning your phone off. They know everything that you've searched for. Basically, Google stores your search history on all devices. As you probably know, and I'm bad with this too, I have Google Chrome on this computer I'm on now. Well, I also have it on my laptop. Now, it's convenient because I can just go there and I have all my tabs, all my pages, all my favorite spots, all my data on that computer, and it's transitionable, especially when I get a new computer or I got to go somewhere. It's not a good thing. It's convenient, but it's not good. And what that means is that even if you go in and try to delete your search history, try to delete your phone history off a device, that data is still being saved because Google is storing it all. And there'll be a link to see what your data is like that'll put on this page. Advertisers, I went and I clicked this link, and it was interesting on the profile they have on me. And basically, Google Advertising created a profile of information, which included everything from where I live, how old I am, my hobbies, career interests, everything that I like out there. And they're using that so that they can sell that information to their third parties or Google AdWords, so that they can direct advertising towards me to make the people that are paying for that advertising content. They know the apps you're using. Google stores information on every single app out there and all the extensive use. We just heard about what's that fitness company, MyFit? Can't remember the name where that was hacked. It was just this week. Millions of users had all their data hacked, which could happen here because they're keeping it all on you. They're not deleting it. And that means they know who you talk to on Facebook. They know where you've been, what you're sleeping like, all of your different patterns that are out there. They have your YouTube history, which Google stores all your YouTube history. So they know what you've been watching. If you're watching stuff on Muslims, on Christian, on white supremacy, whatever it may be, they can get out there. They can see if you're looking up stuff on suicide, if you're depressed, if you're anxious, whatever it may be. And again, they store it all without deleting it. All of your Word documents, Google offers a option to download all the data it stores about you if you request it. And you can go out there and you can get it. It's roughly about 3 million Word documents out there. It includes, in this Word document, on all that data, it will tell you the bookmarks, the emails, the contacts, your Google Drive files, everything, YouTube, everything that we covered, all of your pictures, even if you think they were deleted, they're still there. And I was reading an article, and the guy basically illustrated it. He pulled it up. He showed everything that was on there. And you would be amazed by some of it. And the author of this article went through looking at it and was illustrating which ones he thought he deleted. He knows he deleted it, yet they were still on there. So it's very concerning. And then also Gmail. You got Gmail. Every email you've ever sent, every email you've ever received, deleted, even the spam ones. I guess Google is apparently keeping a record of every single one of those. Every single website you've ever visited, all of that data. And we, as a collective, as a society, we can continue to be okay with this. We can be okay with these unknown corporate entities, these folks that are working there, sharing our information, watching our every move, collecting everything that we've ever seen out there, all of our personal information. They can use that against you in many cases, and the words of freedom and privacy will become basically just a memory. And I think I shared something last night on my national page where Joe Regan was talking about it yesterday on his show about privacy, where basically they've conditioned us so much to get used to not having any privacy that in a few years it will be commonplace. And we won't even remember the fact that we did have privacy, that we did have these certain freedoms out there. It'll be a fleeting memory. And even though, you always get the idiots out there, I got nothing to hide. But even if you don't think you've ever done anything wrong, it's a matter of time before someone deems it your legal behavior to be illegal, to be inappropriate, and use this huge, massive spy system network out there to go after you. I think I even noted the other day too, you talk about as you drive down 75 here in Sarasota County along 75, I think a year ago, they finished up these systems that basically read every single license plate that passes them. And it's a convenient thing because they'll put up on a sign, to exit 12, it's 5 miles. It'll take you 7 minutes. If there's congestion, they'll say 17 minutes. They're essentially reading every single license plate that crosses before them. And we need to stop giving these companies, we need to stop giving these Facebooks of the world, these Googles of the world, permission to go through all of our devices. What we need to do is disable everything. Disable as much as we can so that they can't collect it. Or better yet, just stop using it. Because you got to stop allowing them to record all this data on you. Browsers like Firefox or Tor that don't spy on you, and they actually, I think Firefox came out with something to interfere with some of those spying capabilities of Facebook and other devices, programs out there. There's search engines you can use like DuckDuckGo that are better for not having your information spied upon. VPNs. I used to use a VPN so that I could trick my computer into thinking I was over in Italy so that I could get Italian TV. Now, the downside to some of this is it tends to move a little bit slower. Your internet won't be as strong. But there are products out there where you could try to go a little bit more undercover and not in a deceitful way, but to regain your privacy. And unless you regain this privacy, unless you do it now, we will not be responsible for the insane amount of information that's out there in this virtual surveillance state that we help to create. Well, we will be responsible, not we will not. So, food for thought, but it's amazing. I wanted to say that because, you have all the latest stuff that's coming out with Facebook yesterday and today about the billions and then the messenger, but everyone's focusing on Facebook and attacking Facebook, but they're not looking at Google, which collects a lot more information, or Twitter. And again, I think something's coming out soon about Twitter, but trust me, Twitter is no angel in this, and they're just as bad as Facebook. So it just amazes me why there's so much focus on this one social media versus all of them out there. That's it. This has been Frank Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report.